Good morning. I'm continuing with this idea of how to bring more happiness into your life and how that'll have an impact on every area of your life. The topic that I want to cover today is how much control you feel. There are two parts to our brain. I'll make this really quick. I've talked about this before. There are two parts to our brain. There's an emotional part, and there are many more parts. One major part of our brain is very emotional regulated, and one is very much logically regulated. It's kind of like our thinking brain and our emotional brain. Some people call this our conscious or subconscious. Some people call it our emotional brain. Some people call it our limbic system and our cerebral cortex. There are lots of names for these different parts of our brain. The thing is that when our emotional brain takes over, we're not able to think. And stress is increased throughout the body, mind and body. So actually, people with a lot more stress, if their emotional brain takes over a lot more time, if that fight or flight response takes over a lot more time, then what they're going to feel is the exact opposite of happiness. They're going to feel stress, and they're going to have more problems in life. It affects our relationships. Think about the times that you're communicating the worst. It's usually when you're reacting to something, when you're being defensive, those kind of things. And one key to solving this is, instead of being that emotional, we're all emotional at all times, right? There's emotions going on, but instead of vomiting your emotions all over everyone else or reacting to those, the key is to take control, to feel in control. The more in control you feel in life, the less you react and the more you respond to life appropriately. Now, there's some tips. If you are feeling emotionally kind of overwhelmed, then you can do a few things. You can take a step back. You can set smaller, measurable goals. But one of the best things you can do is ask yourself, what can I do? So many people are focused on what they can't do. So many people are focused on what is overwhelming, that they're not focused on what they can do. And as soon as you start focusing on what you can do, as soon as you start feeling in control, all of a sudden those emotions will start slowing down a little bit. They'll be less reactive, and you can start taking control back of your life. I'm going to give you a really quick example of how I do this with my kids all the time. I do this with my kids probably not on a daily basis, many times during the week. Often they will say, "Dad, I'm struggling with this," or "I'm trying to clean up my room and it's not going fast enough," or "I'm putting the dishes away and I don't know where this dish goes," or whatever it is. And they're focused, as most human beings are, on the one thing they can't do in the moment, the one thing that's going to be a struggle, the one thing that's going to be difficult. And that's how we are too, as adults. What I ask them to do consistently is, what can you do? What are the things that you can do? What are the things that are easy for you? What are the things you could focus on and move forward? As soon as they start focusing on those things, they end up building momentum. And as they build momentum, they end up usually taking care of the thing they didn't think they could do anyway. And that's how it is in life, isn't it? So much of the time we're focused on what we can't do, so much of the things that are difficult or outside of our control, that we forget there's lots within our control. In every one of us, at all times, we've got lots within our control. I'm going to give you a really extreme example of this. If you don't have kids, it's not going to apply to you in some ways, but think about a loved one, somebody very close to you, the person you care about the most in this world. And think about if somebody came and maybe abducted them or something and said, "Hey, listen, if you don't give me $100,000 by tomorrow, I'm going to kill this person." This is a pretty gruesome example, but really quickly you realize, oh, wait a second, I would come up with some ideas on how to bring in $100,000. I would all of a sudden become a fairly decent salesperson. I would all of a sudden become fairly persuasive and influential with people around me. We can do far more than what we give ourselves credit. And there are stories of people for loved ones that have lifted cars up and done ridiculous things, crazy feats of strength. You are so much more capable than you believe. We are all more capable than we believe. We actually don't even know the limits of our capability. We don't know if we have limits in some ways. You are amazing. And the way to focus on how amazing you are, the way to start believing that on some level, is to start focusing on what you can control. Set smaller goals, set more manageable goals. That doesn't mean you don't set big goals. Keep those big goals, but chunk them down, make them smaller, make them more manageable. Ask yourself what you can do, and as you do that, take action in those things, your stress will decrease, your mental health will increase, you will get far more out of your day, your week, your relationships, your business, your life, and you will be far happier because of it. Enjoy today.